Welcome to another episode of Going Back and Catching Up, where we travel back through time and bring it to the forefront. Today, do you remember watching USA Up All Night, where they showed B movies and horror movies, and it was all interjected with sketches and famous guests? Well, one of the hosts from that legendary television time period joins me on this episode, Rhonda Shear, and she is back with Up All Night, or as she says, Up All Night, but she does it way better than that. So let's go back in time and check in with Rhonda Shear on Going Back and Catching Up. Rhonda, hey, how are you?
I'm so good. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Can I hear you just do the line, Up All Night?
Oh my goodness, are you kidding? I have to go up all night. I have to. It's like, if I don't, people get really upset.
Oh my gosh, it brings back some great memories. It just many a late night, my wife and I would just sit around and we would watch these movies, and just you come on and just provide the entertainment between commercials. It was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. I love that. I've got many a young man through puberty. I really hear some funny stories too. Like my parents used to go to sleep and I would take the TV and put it under the blankets and watch you. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's too funny. I mean, and a lot of women too, a lot of girls, like they like to dress the way that I dress. So this is really fun. It's going to be a fun romp of a feeling of the 90s, but today's slant, of course. We'll be showcasing a lot of young filmmakers, along with some of the films, the independent films, that horror films that we love, that maybe aren't perfect.
Sure.
We can get the classics as well, because the Kings of Horror is their parent company is a film distribution company out of Prague, out of Europe. So they distribute films. They've got like 14,000 titles, and they can continue to actually go after films that we want to license. So that's exciting. But what I'm bringing to it is, and what I always brought to the show was like some kind of theme that wrapped around the movie with sketches and comedy bits and celebrity actors and actors from the film and producers and directors. So that's the fun that I want to bring to it, because I really feel like there's a younger generation that hasn't seen any of that.
Yes. And they're
I think
classics. And, it's
yeah.
coming on October the 25th. And do you know what movie is going to be shown, or can you give us a little?
Yes, we're going to have two films that night. The first one is Hell House LLC, and the next one's Hayride. And then we go on, and we're in Thanksgiving. We're on November the 22nd. And then in Christmas, we air on December the 20th. And then after that, we're every other week. So we are going back into regular production, and the difference between even USA Network, I worked within USA Network's, their whatever they had in their library. I mean, it was about holding the attention, so you'd basically watch the advertisers.
Yes.
So I was cast in that role and became just a fan of films. I'm not the expert, but I am going to have a lot of experts on and delve right back into all this, because all these years I've been in the intimate apparel business with Rhonda Shear Intimate. So that's what I've been doing. I reunited with my high school sweetheart and we started a business. And, I've been on Home Shopping Network for many years now. We produce our own products, and that's been my world. And then in the last couple of years, producers and directors started reaching out to me, independent, filmmakers that were doing films and remembered me from their youth. So next thing you know, I'm acting, because it's fun. It's not what I'm doing for a living. And that all kind of, brought me to a convention where I was signing autographs, and the Kings of Horror people met me at that convention, and we put our heads together to reboot Up All Night. So Up All Night.
It's amazing how all that stuff just comes together.
It really is full circle, really full circle in my life. So it's very exciting. I wrote a book a while back, and it wasn't just about my life, but it also talked about after 40 finding love, because I chose not to get married in my Hollywood years, because it was before that. It was that before the Me Too era, when you had to always seem like you were single and available, even though I never did anything to get ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, anything bad, naughty. I never met anyone in their hotel room to get cast. Let's put it that way. I actually went through the real casting channels, like auditioning for roles. So I just want to bring back that feeling and the fun that I had without all the politics and just like good old fashioned sketch comedy with some really good actors and showcasing young people. And we're going to have a wrestling show because wrestling fans kind of cross over into the horror genre. But
Hmm.
anyway, like I was at this convention and that's how the whole thing started. And it's really fun for me to then even start going to these conventions, meeting the fans, and they're going to tell me what they want too. They're going to say, "Hey, I want to see this film," or "Can you do this?" And that's it. The show will end up writing itself through as we go along.
Sure. And some of my favorite memories were you and Gilbert Gottfried together.
Oh
And
my
I mean,
gosh.
just just the stuff on screen that you guys did was hilarious. I can't even imagine some of the stuff that was going on that we never saw. I mean, can you give us a little tidbit of something that went on behind the scenes that nobody
Oh
else
my
would know
gosh.
about?
Well, Gilbert was just amazing. And I was really honored to work with him. And I got to work with him. And I did about 450 shows, something like that. We probably worked together 20, 30 times because he was on Saturday nights, I was on Fridays, but we did
Right.
a lot of cross promotion. And so we did a little traveling together, like we did Universal Studios a few times. And it was a hoot. He's a hoot. I mean, when he's on camera, he's definitely on. And my goodness, my first show is going to be dedicated to him. And I'm going to have pictures on my
Oh,
wall that I will talk to from time to time. And I'll show footage of he and I together and from the old days and a few interviews we did through the years. But great guy, very funny, brilliant. But he was a little bit more soft spoken off camera,
uh,
but he was always up for getting swag. So we'd be on these like crazy, locations like at Universal, and we'd end up in someone's office, and I'm like, Gilbert wants a jacket, a free jacket. You got to give us free jackets. I was like his pimp or something, and but great. He was fun, and but he was I always felt like he kind of needed a mother figure.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
was like, I felt like his babysitter somehow, although he's a couple of years older than me. But, at the end of the day, it was fun. He was always borrowing like 25 cents from me to make a pay phone call because that was before cell phones, some of the
Sure.
shows we did. But he a great guy. And I could say that through the years when I'd ask him to do an interview or something along the way, he always was there for me. And then I got to be a little friendly, at least via phone. We have never met face to face with his wife, Dara, and tried to do a couple of things with them because he was looking for some product when he was on The Apprentice. Believe it or not, he was on there for a little bit. So
Yeah.
my company, we produce and manufacture and all this product. So they reached out if they needed they needed some kind of production, or if he came up with a product, if we could produce it. And I said, absolutely, we could do it. We could source it and produce it. But anyway, that never came to light. I think he got out of the show before that happened. But he's very. I'm glad that he got to know love with his beautiful wife, and then had two great children. Really
Awesome.
lovely. Yeah.
Can't wait to see the tribute. Going back through some of the old footage of Up All Night, I went back and I'm going, wait a minute, is that really him? And I went back again. I'm going, are you kidding me? You had Bobby from the Sopranos, Steve Sharippa was on there when he used to work at the Riviera. And when I went back, I'm going, that's not the same guy, is it? And then I'm cross-referencing with IMDb and I'm going, it is him. Are you kidding me? That's
Well, and
awesome.
no, my goodness. I mean, the people that we had on, everyone from Barbara Walters, Paul Rudd. I mean, you name it, they were on there. I had major stars on the show through the years. It was partially because we covered events, but Steve Sharippa, I was a headlining stand up. So I used to work the Riviera as a comic, as a stand up comic. So he knew me. I mean, that was a whole nother story too, is becoming a comic in the days that I did as a female and with the look I was going for. But anyway, Steve was he was a doorman. He was just a doorman. Then he ended up booking. And he was always great. And I thought he was just this character with the voice. So it was his first TV appearance was on Up All Night, and we kept using him. Well, I mean, I think we must have had him on at least a half a dozen times with different characters. He'd come on basically to do the stupidest things like, and now, Rhonda, I'm going to teach you how to wash a wig. And
Yes.
today's class is going to be how to make a sandwich. And he was just hysterical. And then he ends up as a megastar. I
Yeah.
really should reach out to Steve. That would be awesome to get him on, even if it's
Oh, that would be
like if we can't get
incredible.
people on location, we're putting them into our magic heart. And like the first show, we'll have Linnea Quigley and Felicia Rose, and we're always going to have B stars on there. But that's what's fun, is being able to reach out. Everyone I've reached out to so far has wanted to do the show, or people have reached out to me like a guy that I did 4 years in New York as well, of the show, 4 years in LA, 4 years in New York. And the 4 years I did in New York, I worked with some really good actors, a guy named Miles Grove. And Miles teamed up with JB Smoove. So he wants to do the show. It's like, oh my God, I'm going to have these major stars on the show. It's going to be really cool.
That's incredible. A blast from the past, no doubt. Tell us again where we can find it, when we can find it, and all that great stuff, Rhonda.
Really simple. So you go to YouTube and search Kings of Horror. It's a channel that has over 1.5 million viewers. You can subscribe if you want. It doesn't cost anything, and they'll let you know when we're on. But you can just go there. We're at the top right now. Up All Night is at the top of all the upcoming shows. But just Kings of Horror on you, or you can actually just go to kingsofhorror.com. It'll bring you right there if you're on your computer. And it's going to be an incredible show that is going to be back in production on a regular basis. So little memories of the past. Grab your wife, get some popcorn, get ready to be scared, and stay up all night with me starting October 25th.
Love it. Rhonda, thanks for the time. You take care.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Podcasts by Federated Media.